Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing great tonight. I'm saging a lot because it's a full moon almost in Pisces and Vedic, and I believe it's Aquarius and tropical. I personally follow Vedic because it's a little bit more ancient and they say it's more accurate, and I find it to be more accurate. But you can follow whatever you want. They're both significant. So anyway, happy full moon coming. It's tomorrow, 17th. It's gonna be late, so it's gonna be kind of like close to the 18th. So you'll still feel the energy, but anyways. From what I understand from astrologers, it can be a pretty rough full moon, so be careful. Yeah, be careful out there in these streets. Okay? Alright, so today I'm using the movie tarot deck. I don't really use this deck very much. I didn't used to really like it a lot, but because I just was, when you're learning tarot, it's kind of weird when you use a really off the beat deck because you're used to the pictures and just, it's a whole different take. But it's some interesting movies in here and it gives it, just a different feel. So we'll see what happens. We're just gonna check in on this full moon energy in Pisces and Vedic, Aquarius, which is my sign of tropical. So it's a lunar eclipse. And so it's like things you didn't know you're gonna find out about. Okay, Hierophant in reverse. So I was just actually looking at this meaning of this card from their book, and it just talks about it talks about this is from the guy from Godfather. His name was Sonny? I think Sonny. But anyway, the head father, and he was talking about his idea of justice was a little bit different than the justice system of justice. So I think what I'm getting from this card is, a lot of people think because they don't get legally in trouble, or people don't see what they're doing, or like spiritual crimes that they're committing and things that they're doing are going unchecked by the actual three-dimensional world we live in, that they're not going to get justice in another way. And so this card leads me to believe that this full moon is going to show people that justice comes in many different forms. It's not just like, oh, you go to jail. Oh, you lose your house. Oh, you lose your car. Justice can be many, many things. It can be like, I always think about like parents that saying, be nice to your kids because they pick your nursing home. And it's like, you could go on your whole life just being a total jerk, and then all of a sudden you get old and decrepit and like you're just left in a nursing home to rot. Your kids don't visit you because like your whole entire life you ignored people, you treated people terrible, and then you might not get justice, as in you didn't go to jail, you didn't lose your house, you know that, but then the way you leave the world is a very uncomfortable, lonely, sad, limiting way. So I'm just using that as an example. But basically what I'm trying to say is that the collective will be getting justice for things that have happened. And also the collective will, like, everything's gonna be balanced ultimately. And, the Bible says justice is mine, says the Lord, for a reason. Because the universe and the higher powers and the higher ups balance things, and their justice doesn't always look like the law. It's not always conventional. It's not always like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. It could be something really bizarre that happens to someone, and the whole thing is about justice is that you get what you deserve, right? That's why we have a justice system. And if you're innocent, you get what you deserve, which is freedom. If you're not, then you get limited. So a lot of people in this full moon, even the collective, are going to feel like they're having to endure things that could be part of justice, things that we've done in the past. Things are being balanced out. So whatever you've done in the past, you might get a justice in an unconventional way that you wouldn't expect. It's not going to be eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. And it's the same thing with your enemies or people who have mistreated you. Try not to have enemies, but people who have been your nemesis and your arch rival or whatever they've been trying to do. People who've been envious, jealous, competing, you know, trying to bring you down, gossiping, doing all that kind of stuff. It's going to be an unconventional way. And then also, Hierophant in reverse can be like religious, dogmatic. It could be an immoral person, people who've been immoral. I feel like a lot of secrets are going to come out during this full moon, or eclipse, yeah, full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse. I think it's just a partial one, but I'm not for sure. But it's going to be bringing things to light about people who've been immoral in certain ways. And when I say immoral, I'm talking about like to others, like harming others, doing things like that. And yeah, things are going to be dealt with in a different way. Because when you think of the mafia, they have their own whole justice system. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the spirit world and God and the higher ups and even the devil have their own justice system that doesn't go with traditional, religious, dogmatic, whatever. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? I said all that to say that. All right, let's see what else. Why do they always fall? I'm gonna get up. Okay, I'm going back. Oh, the tower. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul. This is the guy from, oh my gosh. What's that movie? Y'all know. Samuel Jackson. With John Travolta and I know it. I just can't think of it. It'll come to me. Anyway, the tower. It's crazy because there's a gunshot. It's weird because this look like moons up here. You know, like the phases of the moon. And, you know, Trump just had a little assassination attempt yesterday. But, yeah, and there's blood right there on the heart. So this leads me to believe that, like, people who have made, like, a bleeding heart have made your heart bleed, or you've made other people bleed, possibly, collective. I believe that people who've made your heart bleed have been violent towards your heart, violent towards your emotions, have come in acting all dressed and shining and like they're your knight in shining armor or whatever, there to help you or there to whatever. You wouldn't expect what they did to you. It kind of came out of nowhere, which is like what the tower does, right? It's kind of unexpected. And this is what's going to be happening during this full moon because, like I said, the justice of the spirit world is different, and it's going to be unexpected, and it's not going to be traditional. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of the name of that movie because it's like on the tip of my tongue. I think it starts with a P. I gotta look now. Don't get mad at me. The Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction. I knew it would come to me. Pulp Fiction. So, yeah, he goes in. I forget the scene exactly. Him and John Travolta go. I think they're trying to get some information out of someone. And the guy says something, and he kills him for, like, a minimal, dumb reason. But, like I said, we're dealing with some, like, gangsta. Like, your spiritual team is being gangsta about getting justice in a roundabout way. It's not going to be necessarily the traditional way. And traditional rules aren't applying during this full moon. It's going to bring in some unconventional ways of bringing justice to the, you know, and balancing and changing. And I think some people's views on morality and stuff are going to be changing. It's going to be ushering in a new energy. Yeah, 7 of Wands is like, yeah, people are going to be feeling like defensive, like they have to stand their ground. This is about you, collective, standing your ground. No matter what people bring to you. There could be some gun violence going on worldwide, more than normal. And there could be some justice for people who've used guns. Like, it could come to pass that there's certain people who have done violent things and justice is finally coming in for them. But it is a tower moment. Oh my gosh, my cat's just knocked tower moment and it felt crazy. Y'all saw it. Anyway, 7 of Wands, yeah. So I feel like some people are feeling really defensive. People could be trying to build a defense. Okay? They're going to feel the need to defend themselves. They're going to feel very defensive. They're going to feel like people are going to want to argue with you. People are going to not want to see your point of view. Yeah. But the Tower came out in reverse, so people are trying to avoid certain things, and be really defensive. They're trying to, I think some people might even like project onto the collective or the divine people what they did, when really it's more they did it, but they're trying to blame other people. They're not taking responsibility. So people are trying to avoid responsibility during this full moon. They don't want to follow the rules. I would say right now, be really careful about not following laws and rules, because when it's in reverse, you know, we think the Hierophant is like the judge, the court, the legal system. But I think the spirit team is basically been watching people, and they know people are being defensive. But I think no matter how hard people who have done things that are cruel, unjust, and immoral to other people, they're going to feel the need to get maybe even a defense attorney. There could be a lot of like crimes going on and people being accused of things during this full moon thing that I'm talking about. Eclipse, lunar eclipse in Pisces, Aquarius if you're in tropical. But anyway, people are going to feel defensive. You might feel defensive. You might feel the need to defend yourself. Other people might try to defend themselves against things you're saying. But I think there's going to be a lot of defensiveness, okay? So, let's see what else comes out. Tower in reverse. Why does the Tower always come out? Well, it's probably because I'm a Scorpio and we rule. That's one of our cards. Okay, yeah. Ooh, an Emperor. So, a lot of guns in this second gun. Now this guy is like actually shooting it, being violent. He's got blood splattered on his shirt, doesn't care. This is some pretty harsh Tower, right? And then you have an Emperor, the Emperor, which is like, this is the younger son in Godfather, right? Yeah. No, maybe this is Scarface guy. I think this is Scarface guy. But anyway, it's just totally different energy, because this guy here is much more like surprise, like just I'm taking, like, you're gonna respect me. It's forced. This is kind of forced. But the Emperor sits on his throne. He lets things come to him. He handles business from his throne. He's much more cleaned up. He doesn't get dirty. So there's those of you collective, y'all are gonna be sitting like the Emperor. Y'all aren't gonna get dirty in this. The people that have been doing things that they shouldn't be doing, harming people, taking things that don't belong to them, manipulating, trying to lie, make up stories, gossip, all those things. Those people they're trying to avoid the Tower, but it's coming. There could be some shooting. There's 2 guns here. Maybe some of y'all should have a gun for self-defense in your home to protect yourself or whatever. But collective, you're going to be in temperance energy, okay? Also something about drinking here, because there's alcohol in cups here, so just be careful about drinking, over drinking. Try to balance it out. The Emperor never gets fully drunk. Like, he's got the drink there, he's not actually drinking it. So it's like he drinks, but he stays in control, and he does it, you know, moderate. And the temperance is all about moderation. This is the guy from Shawshank Redemption. And remember how calm he was and how he stayed even and he was able to like balance. And that's also kind of talking about justice, right? A little bit. Because we're talking about Hierophant. So yeah, you guys are, because you have been patient and you've been able to balance yourself, collective, my divine collective, you have been tempering and you've been balancing. Even though you've been in lack and you've been locked up and you felt restricted in the past, you've moved into this Emperor status by balancing yourself, by working through really difficult things, by facing dark sides of yourself, by facing a lot of injustices thrown at you and feeling like you're never going to get out. You're never going to get out of this long karmic cycle, or this long, arduous inner work and just all the struggles and stuff in life, okay? But you're tempering it. It's just be careful about drinking too much. Also, it could be something about drinking tea, Like, be careful of your drink, make sure you keep it all balanced. But you guys are balancing out a really difficult, what seems like a long spiritual prison sentence for you, okay? And you're coming out as the Emperor. And the Emperor is someone who, you know, is very balanced, very well respected, someone who is like the boss of all. Like, the Emperor is above all the kings, right? There's 4 kings, and the Emperor is the highest because he's even higher than the female, because, you know, women technically, according to the Bible, submit to men, right? So in tarot, this is like the perfect man. This is someone who's balanced, who's strategic. He plays chess, not checkers, okay? This is you guys. You guys play chess, not checkers. You're strategic. You're quiet. You let things come to you. You drink in moderation. You know, you have everything that you need and the tools you need to manifest and make things happen for yourself, okay? Some people might be near a tropical environment right here with the trees and stuff. But yeah, you guys are just going to feel more balanced than the karmics during this eclipse, and you're gonna feel you're finally coming more into your power. You're balancing things out. You're letting go of some like issues that are holding you back or have held you back, and you're just handling the business of life, right? But I do think a lot of you guys are gaining a certain amount of freedom, okay? And there's a change coming, because this adds to 14, 10. This in Roman numerals, that's 14. I don't think they teach that in school anymore. Maybe they do. But anyway, it's 14. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 does a lot with change. It also does with low energy in the deck. So, like, Temperance is about transmuting. So you guys have taken really difficult, like, very just fierce and harsh energy that's been thrown your way, that's been dished out to you, and you guys have transmuted it and changed it, and it's changed you, and it's made you able to temperate yourself, able to calm yourself, able to balance yourself, even with only what you were given. And you guys, there is a change coming from this to becoming, stepping on your throne into the Emperor energy, which is the energy of being a ruler, being, you know, given responsibilities, having your hands in multiple different streams of income, helping other people. The Emperor rules people and helps people and guides the people, and people look up to them. So you guys are stepping more into that leadership role after having been, you know, and just try not to be too defensive, okay? Because you don't want to block out blessings, or, well, I don't like that word so much, but like good fortune and things that the universe is trying to bring you as gifts for doing all this really arduous work and this long spiritual sentence that you have endured, okay? And this is kind of a tower moment for some people, because I just see just bossing up, and just they see you overcoming tower after tower, like all these things that it burns down, you rebuild it. You know, like, it makes me think of an ant bed. When you go and you kick the ant bed, or you step on the ant bed, those ants, you come back in an hour and it's all built back. Like, so as soon as someone kicks over your ant bed, you're building it back up. You bring your spiritual team comes and builds you back up. And that's basically what this has been about. You not giving up, collective. You not giving up. Your spiritual team is proud of you because you keep rebuilding your ant bed, and it's a lot of work. And it's like, as soon as someone kicks it down, you're like, oh, not again. But you guys are able to do that, okay? And you've come out of your head. In other words, you changed your thinking. You've gotten your mind more free. You haven't allowed, because in the past, I think some of you guys have gotten tripped up in your mind. You've gotten stuck in patterns. You've got stuck worrying and fear and doubt, not trusting yourself, asking, God, is this going to come through? Are you going to help me? Am I going to do this? Am I going to heal? Am I going to get... But now you guys are coming out of that energy, and your faith is increasing and increasing. And you just now sitting on your throne, waiting on God to tell you to move, because you have learned to balance your fears, balance, you know, the peace in your life, balance your anxiety, your stress. You've learned to balance your work, home life, balance relationships with people that you choose to call family, balance, how you manage your pets, how you manage your household, how you manage everything in your life, your bills. You've balanced it, you've learned it. And in the past, your biggest problem is you get stuck in your head. And this is a tower moment for a lot of people. And you guys are avoiding towers by coming out of this Eight of Swords, being stuck, feeling, and the thing about Eight of Swords, if you look in the original picture, it's a lady who's tied up, or, but she's not, she has a blindfold on. She has all these swords around her. All she has to do is untie it and walk out. But she, in her mind, because she can't really see, and she's not going by her faith, she's just stuck in her head. She doesn't get herself out of it. So you guys came out of your head. You started getting more faith, trusting the universe, trusting God, trusting a higher power, seeing that, wait a minute, I took off the blindfold. Okay, well, there's swords around me, but I can get out of here. Okay, well, let me see. Let me move the sword. Like, you started just taking baby steps towards, improving your life and getting out of situations that are no longer serving you, that were not helping you, that were keeping you from evolving. And you're listening more to your intuition. You're going by instincts. You're not going by sight. You're going by your gut and your instinctual feelings. And this is taking you to the sun. This is one of the best cards in Tarot. This is the lady from, oh my gosh. Oh, this is terrible. I can think of all the songs in there and I can't. The hills are alive with Sound of Music. The Sound of Music. Yes. Well, she's out in the field dancing. This is you guys. You guys, well, I don't like the sun, but y'all are going to be out in the field. The sun gives life. You guys are coming into the light, the life. You're coming out of this hard, arduous mental prison term, the spiritually mental prison that you've been in, and you're coming into the sun. You guys, they're going to be singing. You're going to feel free in that scene. She's like dancing in the field. I think it's before the Nazis came. So like maybe you guys I feel like you guys have been really restricted and you're coming out of some of those past restrictions. A lot of them self-imposed. That's what I'm trying to say. You did it to yourself, but you did it to yourself because you were not learning certain lessons you needed to learn. I'm drinking out of the bottle because I can't find glass right now, so. I've done it a while. I do it all the time, and it's weird. I usually drink the whole bottle anyway, so why dirty a glass? All right. Yeah, Six of Cups in reverse. So you guys are overcoming things from your past. So I told you in the past, you guys have been stuck. You've been stuck in this energy. You've been imprisoned, but you kept the faith. You kept trying. You made your escape. You escaped these mental thoughts. You learned to become more positive. You learned how to be less pessimistic, or you're learning how to do this, okay? You're starting to. If you're not doing it already, you're getting ready. This eclipse is bringing in more of you being optimistic, having more faith, and getting yourself over the past heartbreaks. Six of Cups is like childhood wounds. You're healing childhood wounds. You're healing things that happened in your childhood. You're healing from past lovers, past people who are argumentative. It's their way or the highway. They don't listen. They lack empathy. It's all about them. They say if it's F you or F me, it's F you. They have that kind of attitude, and you have never had that attitude, but you're learning how to get away from those toxic people who are just out for themselves only and worried about themselves, worried about their best interests. What is in it for me? You guys are getting away from those people and coming into the sun, coming into freedom. So this is going to be a really good eclipse for you guys, okay? I think it's going to be great for the collective. I think for karmics, it's going to be a tower moment. And I think it's going to force them into, some people are going into spiritual jail. It's going to be a long spiritual jail sentence. And when I say spiritual jail, what spiritual jail means, and that's kind of like what Eight of Swords also represents, but it's in reverse for you guys, collective. But the people, karmics, you would reverse all this, right? So they're going to be getting no sun. It's going to be dark. and not happy. The sun, makes things grow. So when you say spiritual jail, it's the opposite of the sun. Basically, things don't grow. If the sun weren't here, we'd have no plants. We'd have no warmth. It would be cold. Things would not flourish. Okay? It wouldn't be bright. You wouldn't be able to see. You wouldn't know what time it is. Because the sun is how we keep time, right? A lot of ways. I mean, there's probably other ways. But you know what I'm saying? So the sun is coming out, and the people who've been putting in the work, growing spiritually, trying to become a better person, trying to every day. I'm not saying y'all are perfect, but y'all are trying every day to do a little bit better, even if it's just a baby step. Because if I recall this movie, they dug a hole, I think, in the prison cell, and like it took them years. They chipped away at it. So you guys have been chipping away at karma. You've been chipping away at all these things that you need to heal, all getting down, like you've been creating your own sculpture. You've been sculpting yourself slowly, and chipping your way out of this negative thinking, self-imposed prison, a mind prison, limited thinking, feeling like you can't do it, saying, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can be alone. Yes, I can sit down. Yes, I can pay my own bills. Yes, I can clean my house. Yes, I can whatever, be a single mom. Yes, I can, and I'm going to do a good job at it. I may not be perfect, but I'm going to do my very best. That's all you can do. As long as you're doing your very best, that's all you need to do, right? Because that's what God expects from us, is our very best. But ask yourself, collective, am I doing my best? Is this my best? Because when you go to the gym, let's say you go to the gym and you have like a little head cold, okay? Your best that day isn't going to be as good as your best would be, if you just carbo loaded and you rested and you were just ready. You drank a whole couple coffees, whatever. I was going to say a whole pot. That might be too much, but a lot of coffee. And it's first thing in the morning, and it's Saturday. You have nothing else to do, so you hit the gym hard. Your best is going to be different on that day than when you have a little runny nose, your allergies are acting up, or you didn't get any sleep last night. But the most important thing is that no matter what your circumstances are, you do your best, right? So that's what you've been doing. You've been doing your very best with what you've been given, and that's what they did in prison. They did the very best they could with what they were given, and they were able to achieve a balance, and they were able to free themselves and get into the sun energy, okay, and come out of the prison. So the karmics, it's the opposite, okay? An Emperor in reverse is just very selfish, they make bad decisions. They only think of themselves. They don't care about how their actions affect other people. So people who've been in that energy, they're going to be feeling defensive. They might need to get defense system. They might need to hire an attorney. And yeah, they're going to be stuck in a mental prison. And what is spiritual jail? Spiritual jail is when things don't move for you. Like I said, the sun, you feel like everything goes wrong for you. You're dropping something. You try to open up a bottle of wine and it shatters. You try to, go to the grocery store and someone, you get a flat tire right down the street from your house. Like just little things like that. But it could be, that's just small, but it could be a lot of things. It could just be like you don't grow in love, or you're in an unhappy relationship, but you feel mentally stuck or financially stuck, so you don't feel like you can get out of it. It's spiritual jail to me is more mental than anything, because all you have to do is pray and start thinking in a positive direction and moving in a positive direction, because faith without works is dead. So you can't just sit around and pray and be positive. You actually have to move in that direction. But karmics are going to feel stuck in their head, and they're going to feel like there's no sunshine, and it's because they're not healing things from the past. They're taking their past, they're carrying their past on them like a badge of honor, but it's not a badge of honor, because we have to live in the present. If you're living in the past, you're depressed. If you're worrying about the future, you're anxious. Live in the present moment. Now, of course, we have to keep the past in context, because how do we know if other people care about us? Well, we have to look at their past behavior. Past behavior is the best predictor for future behavior. So we can't just say, oh, well, and I have a lot of people in my life who are like, well, I did that 7 years ago. Why can't you forgive me? And I'm like, I did forgive you. There's a difference between forgiving and then allowing you to continue that pattern. Because once you say you're sorry, true repentance means I'm sorry, and now I'm going to take the actions to do better. I'm going to try to make amends, right? Make amends, which means I'm mending this. I'm not just saying sorry. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry is, okay, I did this really terrible thing. I'm sorry. Well, and ask, what can I do? Like, is there anything I can do? Can we work on this? Like, I want to be a better person. Like really, truly being genuine, taking responsibility, and then trying to change your action, and then trying not to repeat that mistake, okay? If someone punches you in the face every day and they say they're sorry, eventually you're not going to deal with them. You're going to go out the other door, right? You're going to keep walking through the door and getting punched and just taking, oh, okay, you're sorry, great. Okay, well, you have a black eye every day of your life. No, eventually you're going to say, okay, I accept your apology, but you can't keep punching me. You're going to have to shake my hand tomorrow or kiss my cheek or just say hello, right? Change in behavior. So that's what's coming. You guys are looking for people who are genuinely, you don't mind if people make mistakes in your life. You don't mind if the people around you that you care about and love, or even people that you don't care that they're imperfect. You just want people to take responsibility. You want people to act mature, and you want people to think of all the people involved rather than just themselves, right? So what people who have not been acting like that, there is going to be some serious justice coming in right now. I mean, the card's not Hierophant justice, but when I think of the Hierophant, I just think legal, like there's going to be ramifications. Yeah, Empress. This is crazy because the Emperor and the Empress came out. So you guys might be having a divine partner coming in too to help you. These are the perfect matches. This is, oh my gosh. Cleopatra, she played. It was Elizabeth Taylor, Cleopatra. And I think it was Cleopatra, I'm pretty sure. And if not, it might have been another movie. But anyway, Elizabeth Taylor is like the true Empress of Hollywood, right? And so together, these two are counterparts. So I do think because you have gone through this arduous spiritual prison term and you're learning to think more positive, the sun is coming out in your life and you're attracting a true divine partner, eventually coming collective. Now, I don't know when. I could ask that, but I do believe it's coming soon. You guys are making things grow. Empress, when you think of the Empress and the Sun, Emperor, these are great cards because basically in Temperance, this is like you've balanced yourself. And Eight of Swords in reverse, you've come out of all your pain, you've temperance yourself, you've healed, you've gotten past all the murk and dust, you've chipped away, you've sculpted this beautiful sunny life for yourself, and now you're Empress and the Emperor, you're ready to meet your divine partner to help you to grow and to build things. And you guys, even if you say you want to be alone, then you're working with God. If you don't want to have a partner, you don't want to get married or do any of that kind of stuff, then I would read this as, if you're a woman, you're working with God. If you're a man, you're working with God or Mother Earth to create, because both of these people create, they build kingdoms, they run businesses. This queen, she embodies everything. She's intuitive, she is strong, she's beautiful, she's got the perfect curves. Like, like some of the other queens are a little thinner because like the Empress, she's like the mother, she bears children, so she's just filled out perfectly. Just basically like the ideal woman. So if you're not getting your counterpart coming in because you don't really, maybe not everyone is meant to have an equal partner in life. Like some people actually are meant to be single in their life because they have other things they have to do. Or you might be. I think some of you are going to stay just single and live your life, but you're going to collaborate with God and you're going to bring in bountiful things to yourself. You're going to grow things. You're going to, just stay on your throne. You're gonna do things that you're gonna learn new tasks, learn new hobbies, learn ways to improve everyone's life around you, okay? And if you're a man and you don't end up having a divine partner, you want to be single, you're gonna be like a businessman, you're gonna run your own business, you're gonna be making really good decisions, inspiring other people, living just an ideal life, right? Bringing the sun. Also, I think the Empress and the Emperor and the Sun card, it's like you bring the sun and you light up the room when you walk in, like all eyes on you kind of thing. But I do think a lot of you are bringing in your divine partner. But I know some people, even if they have the chance to be with a divine counterpart, some of them are apprehensive to it. And I do think, the Bible says, the prayer of a righteous man, the fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So I believe if we pray to God and we say, hey God, I don't know if I want to be like an actual this, that, or whatever. If we ask God, our prayers will avail much. So, if you're not asking God for a partner, you're not wanting love, because I do see people in tarot and they're like, you're going to get this person, and not everyone wants that. So God knows what you want, but God also knows what's best for you. So that's where faith comes in and discernment. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to get on here and say every single person's getting divine partner, because I believe there are actually some people in life who do better on their own because they create more and they're actually more of an emperor and empress on their own. And then I believe there are some people who need their divine counterpart because y'all work together as a power team. So I'm not going to ever get on here and say everyone has to have a divine partner. I just don't believe that. But I do believe most people do better in, couples, because the Bible says it's not good for man to be alone, right? And the women were made to be a helpmate and to be a support and to, be the softer side of the man to be the stronger side, and then to come together and balance those energies to create beautiful things. But you can also balance those energies in yourself and work with the divine if you don't find the person that's, right for you. Okay? That's how I'm trying to say that. Okay? Because I'm not ever going to get on my channel and be like, you should do this. You should quit weed. You should smoke. You shouldn't smoke. You shouldn't drink. You should drink. Like, who am I to tell you what you should do? God can tell you. You and God have to figure that out. And I don't think what's good for everyone is good for everyone else, clearly. I know people who've gone on all kinds of crazy diets and not lost weight. I know people can eat anything they want and their body stays fine. So I know people who can drink people under the table and still be very together. And I know people after 2 drinks who are just wasted, crazy, punching people in the face. So I just don't think there's a blanket cookie cutter. I think if you have problems with something, you're going to know it because it's going to show in your life. And that's between you and God. And it's not for any of us to judge you. You know when you're out of control and when you're in control. That's why self-control is one of the fruits of the Spirit. But self-control is different for everyone. Okay, that's between you and God. So I'm not going to tell you have to have a divine partner or you have to stay single. I'm going to tell you that you're definitely going to be either collaborating with the divine in a partnership, or you are going to have a divine partner coming in for you because you've done so much work. You've gotten so close to a higher power. You're avoiding towers, and it feels like maybe in the past you've had a tower of touches problems and all these unforeseen events. And of course, life is always going to throw things at you. But I feel like in the past where it would be a complete tower moment, you're reversing that and you're learning how to take those towers in stride, take those changes in stride, flow instead of fighting. You're flowing with the stream instead of up the stream like the salmon. You're like, no, I'm not going to be a salmon today. All right. So that's what I think is happening for you guys during that's my collective. Karmic's opposite, okay? If they have a partner, they could be losing that partner because divine people are moving into divine relationships. God is moving people. It's like Spiritual Sag says. I think it's Spiritual Sag. She's on here. You can look her channel up. She says, God puts people together and people put people together. When God puts people together, God puts people together. And I don't care how much what the karmics do. And they may be able to delay it. They may be able to cause chaos in it. But when God wants something and wants certain people together, they're going to be together. That's why I find it very odd when people are like, try to take people's kids from them for no reason. Like, I'm going to take this kid. This is mine. I'm going to take your kids. God gave those kids to that person. Okay? Like, so how are you going to take what God gave someone? I mean, just think about the audacity of that. Thinking that you're going to go to court and I'm going to take the kids. It's like, no, And first of all, why would you want to take a kid from a parent that birthed them? And now, listen, it's different if they're, doing abusive, horrible things, putting cigarettes out on the kid and that kind of stuff. But let's just say they're not your ideal mother. You don't think you wouldn't be the mother their way. They're unconventional. Just because of that, or they're not religious, or they don't agree with your philosophies, that isn't grounds for just wanting to take someone's kids from them. And the thing about that is that you're basically telling God, I don't think that you should have given this kid to this person. And no matter what, I don't care, even if your parent is in prison, it's still always your parent. So to try to separate a child from a parent, you should think really long and hard about doing that, because there's great, severe karma that comes with that. Severe karma. In other words, if you're going to court and just trying to take someone's kid from them just because you don't like their lifestyle, you don't like that they're not religious, or you're jealous, or you're angry, or they're doing better than you, so you're just going to put them in their place, know that there's karma from that. And, you're not greater than God. I mean, he parted the Red Sea. He created you. So trust and believe he can intervene. And he sees everything. He sees everything. All those things you're doing that no one else is seeing you doing, he's seeing it. So the Bible says, be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that will he also reap. So before you think about going to court, or, oh, I'm going to call CPS on someone, or I'm going to do this or that, or I'm going to take your kid, I'm going to get child support from you, so I'm going to lie and say you're a bad mom so I can get your kid, so I can get money out of you. You better think long and hard, because what could happen to you is that you could lose your kids. Your kids could be taken, or it could just be your kids don't want anything to do with you. You could think you raise your kids perfect, and they get older and they hate your guts because you tried to intervene in someone else's child-parent relationship. Or, and this is also the same in marriages too, or whatever, relationships. If you're purposely intervening and trying to break people up, I'm not talking about having affairs or whatever. I'm talking about you are like, leave that person for me, let's be together, I'm going to break up this whole thing. And you're thinking that's fun and games and that's cute. Or you're trying to take people's kids from them. Or you're trying to destroy someone's business. Or you're trying to sabotage someone's work. Or harm their house or their car, everything they work for. Just know that same thing is going to come back to you, but in a very unconventional way, because like we said, the Godfather served justice in very surprising ways. And this guy with the tower in the movie Pulp Fiction, I'm pretty sure he's surprised he killed that guy over something small that he said or did, and surprised him, but I could be wrong. It's been a while, but I'm pretty sure of that. You look up Pulp Fiction, the scene where he shoots the guy. I mean, he'd be crazy. He'd be eating, like, I think he ate like his hamburger or something like that in front of him and then shot him. I don't remember exactly, but the point is, when you least expect it, and in a way you don't expect, and for maybe you could just be doing something small, but because all this accumulated karma from wishing bad on others, even if you're just wishing, oh, I hope that person's kids hate them, oh, I hope their kids go to prison, oh, I hope their kids grow up to be losers. Just know you're cursing that person. That is black magic. That is wishing evil on someone, and it will come back, and more than likely it's going to come back to you and your children. So you need to be really careful about your words, because what does the Bible say? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I was reading in Proverbs and Psalms, and there's actually a lot of scriptures about the tongue and how serious our tongue is. And also in the New Testament, like I think James, or I forget which Bible, which exact chapters I was in, but it was like a lot more than I realized. I've been reading my aunt's Bible. My aunt passed away a year and a half ago. It was last year in May, and she died of cancer. It was breast cancer. It moved her bones. But anyway, there's a lot. She left me. I was able to get like a couple of her Bibles because she let us just, get what we wanted from her. And I got a couple of her Bibles. I've been reading her Bible because she has a lot of notes in there. It's really interesting, some of the things she wrote. And I've been incorporating some of it in my own cards and stuff like that. But because I was just really, it has the tabs on it. It's easy to get in, and then it has explanations inside of it from like theologians, Bible theologians that are like super like several degrees they have and PhDs in the Bible, and they tell you all kinds of interesting stuff. So it's a really cool Bible. I don't even know if they make them anymore. It's old, but yeah, I was just surprised how much the Bible, I don't think people realize how powerful your words are. Yeah, they say sticks and stones will break my bones, but my words will never hurt you. I think words hurt a lot more than people realize. So be careful with your words. And I think you guys are learning that. You're trying to learn to harness your mouth while you're trying to learn to talk in a more mature way. You're trying to speak more positive over people and not think negative thoughts about other people, okay? Those who have been doing that, I just would say, you need to be careful when you intervene in someone else's life and their relationship and their business and their life, because it will come back to you. The Bible, it's very clear. There's not a religion that doesn't believe that, except like a lot of people believe, oh, well, you can just pray and God will forgive you. That's true. You can. You can repent and pray and God will always forgive you. Even if you murder someone. If you murdered 20 people, he'll forgive you. But it doesn't mean you're going to not pay the consequences. If you think about David and Bathsheba, when he wanted Bathsheba because he saw her bathing, but she was married. So he sent her husband off to war so he could be with her. Then she got pregnant on accident. And then he hadn't been home, so clearly it wasn't his child. So then he sends him home to her, but he was so worried about leaving his men on the front lines that he couldn't sleep with her. So then he went back, and so then David was like, okay, put him at the front and have him killed. And like like a battle, he knew he would get killed. So basically murdered him. And then him and Bathsheba got together, but God was very angry at David for that. And he did punish him. He told him, you will lose this child. You know, because that guy, I forget what her husband's name was, Bathsheba's husband, but his blood was calling out to God. Just like in Cain and Abel, when Abel's blood called out to God. So just know, I mean, and that was a very manipulative, deceptive, that's like some evil stuff that David did, but he was still forgiven. And he still got to be with Bathsheba, and they went on to have more kids, but they did lose their firstborn over that. So the things you do can affect your children, so you be really careful. You be really careful how you treat other people. Because God will always forgive you. I don't care what you do. But, I mean, it's clear in the Bible. Jesus, you know, forgave the guy on the cross who was a thief his whole life. But it doesn't mean you don't pay the consequences. The wages of sin is death, right? And a lot of people think that means that you're going to die, but it just means death to freedom, right? Death to happiness, death to joy, death to peace. I think a lot of people forget how much sins affect your peace. Because when you're sinning, you can't be in peace. Because sinning takes you out of that heavenly state of mind. That's why heaven and hell is in your mind a lot. When you're jealous and envious of someone else and obsessed with that person, you can't grow for yourself. You can't create for yourself. You can't work on you because you're too busy focused on someone else. That's why it's a sin, because it's taking all your peace away. You should be happy in you. You should be happy with what you have going on in your life and becoming the best version of yourself so that you don't even have time to be worried about what everybody else is doing, right? And that's what you guys are learning. You're learning how to put all that energy into your own growth, into being a better version of yourself every day. And you're not worried about what other people are doing unless it directly affects you. And then you're trying to transmute that energy and temperance it and keep your peace protected. Some of you might be also trying to balance out your health issues and trying to drink more water, drink teas and healthier things and less, things that don't improve your health. And that's different for everyone. Like I said, I don't do blanket statements. Everyone should run 10 miles a day. No, everyone should not run 10 miles a day. Everyone should do what's best for them by learning about themselves. Once you learn about your own self, to thine own self be true, you'll know. Not everybody's meant to, be a world-class athlete. Not everyone's meant to be an artist or a singer. We all have our own gifts given to us from God, our Creator, and we share them, and none of them are better than another one. It's just that when we work together as a collective, it makes God's gifts be shown all over the earth. God didn't make us all the same because he wanted variety. That's why we have all different kinds of animals, right? So you guys are learning how to harness your gifts. You're learning how to love who you are, and you're learning how to share your gifts with other people and bring the sun and the light to other people, okay? Yeah. Ace of Wands. You guys are starting new things. You're inspiring people. I think you're helping. You're also working out more. You're becoming like a ninja. You move in swift in and out. Like I said, you play chess, not checkers. And I mean, I haven't seen his movies, but I think he's a karate person. What's his name? Oh my gosh. I know his name. I just can't think of it. I'm terrible with names, but you know, he was like that guy. Anyway, I think you guys are working on your body. I think you guys are just kind of protecting all your opportunities. I think new opportunities are coming. I think you guys are kind of warriors, and you're coming into your warrior power. Yeah, I think you guys have ended a lot of situations in your life where you shared your cup and they poured it out. So you're just like, okay, well, if you're going to pour it out, I'm going to pour out mine and start over somewhere else and go get another cup to share with somebody who actually appreciates it and appreciates my gifts and talents and validates the things I say. I mean, I don't think you guys are looking for validation, but you're tired of people invalidating you when you say something and you know it's a valid comment and they're just arguing for the sake of arguing and just wanting to just, and the Bible talks a lot, God hates people who stir up strife. It says that a lot in there. I mean, I can't really say the exact wording. I'll have to look it up. But it's something about he does not like people who stir up strife, who cause strife and arguments and cause problems amongst people and just want to argue just to argue and just want to just be right and just go back and forth and cause all this chaos and just steal the joy from everyone. So, and gossip and talk negative and complain and, all this kind of nonsense. You guys try to give your cup to people like that and then they just pour it out and you're just like, okay, I'm going to take my cup where it's appreciated. So you guys have ended a lot of collaborations with people, a lot of you've ended things with friends, you've ended things with lovers, you've ended things with coworkers, you've ended things with neighbors, you've ended things with just anything not serving you, anyone who's not seeing the value of what you carry in your cup, okay? Yeah. Two of Swords in reverse. You guys are just like, maybe in the past you didn't know which way to go. Maybe some of these people that you were involved with just didn't know what they wanted and they just weren't for sure and they were kind of... But I think you guys are learning the direction and you're walking more in the truth. You're seeing things for what they are. You're calling a spade a spade. You're no longer under so many illusions. You're willing to see the truth and you're not stuck. You're not feeling like you can't make a decision. You're being more decisive, okay? And that's going to even increase after this lunar eclipse, okay? That's the moon eclipse. Just in case y'all don't know. 9 of Wands in reverse. So you guys are you guys have been the wounded warrior, but I think you're healing from your wounds. You're starting to heal the childhood wounds. You're not letting them affect you. You're not letting them keep you stuck in the spiritual prison, okay? You're learning not to share your cup with people who don't deserve it. And you're healing. You're basically healing, and that is why the sun is coming out in your life, okay? Now, I wanted to get some of my cards, but I have to get it for a minute, so just sing the Jeopardy song. Okay, I hate the Jeopardy song. This is so funny. Where I dance sometimes, like if the dancer doesn't come when they call her, the guy will play the Jeopardy song. It's hilarious. Because it's like a dance club and then it's just like, oh, I don't know why I told y'all that. Maybe y'all are watching Jeopardy. Maybe you like Jeopardy. Maybe you could learn something from watching Jeopardy. Maybe someone's life is in jeopardy. Maybe their spiritual life is in jeopardy. Maybe some people's souls are in jeopardy. And that is going to really be enhanced during this lunar eclipse or after this lunar eclipse. Yeah, forgive yourself for settling for less than you deserve. That's what this is about. You guys are healing Cash. That's my dog. You guys are healing and forgiving yourself for settling for less than you deserve, okay? And maybe some of you are forgiving yourself for not going to school, maybe you guys want to go back to school. You're forgiving yourself for not taking when you went to school more serious. I tried, and like I said, at least if you're trying, God respects someone who's trying. In the Bible, I think Jesus talks about like two people going to pray, and one person's like, God, I gave to the poor, I've done so well, I've gone to church and the tabernacle and all this. And the other guy went and he's like, God, I've sinned, I've done terrible, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, da, 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 da. And Jesus said, who do you think God heard their prayer more? And he was begging for forgiveness, and he was like, the sinner who's repenting and truly taking accountability and saying, these are all the things I did wrong and I'm sorry. Not the person who's like, oh, I've given to the poor and I've done nothing wrong and I know, God, you should have me on a high honor. No, that's not, because we're all human, and all humans need to be working on themselves. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a preacher. I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. You still need to be doing we're here to learn lessons. We're here to learn spiritual lessons and to grow as a soul, as an immortal soul, right? So you guys have to forgive yourself, and that's what you're working on. And this looks like a monster F. Maybe someone's name F. I could think of someone whose last name was F. My ex-boyfriend that I had to forgive. And F is forgive. So you have to forgive these monsters who ran amok in your life. And you also have to forgive yourself for allowing the monsters within to rear their little heads and not exercise them out of you. Whatever, get rid of them. So you guys are getting rid of the monsters inside your head, the monsters that have kept you stuck, have kept you in this mental prison. You're forgiving yourself, and you're knowing that you tried your best at the moment with what you knew and where you were on your spiritual journey. Now there is this little stingray thing, so I don't know, that might mean something to someone. When I think the stingray, I thought, well, I had this huge one swim over me when I went to go see those whale sharks. Oh my gosh, those things are massive. It's so crazy. I can't even believe I did that. But anyways, and my grandmother got stung by a stingray, and she got real sick, had to go to the hospital. So I don't know, maybe something is I think a lot of people are gonna feel kind of stung. Like they're gonna feel, it's gonna be a surprise, shocking, things coming out, things that might sting. You might hear something that stings. There might be some information that stings. You might get into a fight, or just you might say things that sting someone, so be careful with what you say. Or someone might say something to make you sting. Or some people might just, the changes you're making feel like a stunning sting to them. Like you changing and becoming the person that you're becoming is painful for other people. You forgiving yourself is causing pain to other people, but you've allowed a lot of these people in your past to put you in a mental prison, and you're trying to overcome them stinging and hurting you. And you healing is actually causing pain to some of these people that, maybe they're uneducated. They're not in spiritual school. They don't realize that they're in spiritual school, and they're not learning. They're like the student that's in the back coloring and not doing their homework, or writing notes back and forth, or, whatever on their phone. And so for this reason, they're not learning their lessons, and life is stinging for them. It's painful. They're not trying. So you need to ask yourself, am I truly trying? Okay, you could try to get closer to me. It's weird because I just said try. You could try to get closer to me. Maybe someone's trying to get closer to you. Maybe you want someone to get closer to you. But I also think God is saying you could try to get closer to me. So your spirit team, your benevolent ancestors who love you unconditionally, and God wants you to get closer. He wants you to try to get closer to your higher power, okay? Freedom is a state of mind. That is so crazy, because remember I said you guys are coming out of a spiritual prison? And it is a state of mind. And that is from Walter Mosley. Freedom is a state of mind. And I remember Doreen Virtue said one time that even people who are imprisoned or feel imprisoned in their mind can be free, because your mind can take you anywhere. No one can entrap your mind. So your mind is powerful. So no matter what situation you're in, remember that freedom is a state of mind. If you feel free, then you will be free, because you can go anywhere in your mind. You can imagine things, you can meditate, you can pray, you can pretend to be at the beach in your mind. You can take a whole vacation to Hawaii in your mind, right? So remember that. And that's what you guys are learning. You're learning how to free your mind, and the rest will follow. I forget, that's a rapper thing or R&B song. Anyway, U-turn. It says don't U-turn. So maybe this is like a reminder, don't go back. Don't do a U-turn and go back. Keep going forward. And then the F is on here. And I think that means forward, freedom. Oh, that was the F over there. There's a W on here. There's a dog on here. Looks like kind of one of those huskies or a wolf. Yeah, F is on there. I thought it was a 4. F. So go forward. Don't turn back. Don't return back. Okay, the flowers are coming out. The sun is coming out. You're going to be getting your flowers. Maybe someone's going to bring you flowers. Maybe you need to get flowers for your home just to brighten it up. Maybe you need to plant some flowers. And there's a W on here. Wise. You guys are just wisening up. You're wisening up. You're realizing how powerful your mind is. You're filling your mind with things that make you feel more free and help you to move forward more, okay? All right, I'm going to get a couple more cards. I want to go. Okay. I love this song. I love this one. This is hilarious. This is from, there's a tarot card reader on here that I love. Her name is Unique Tarot. Check her out. She's hilarious. Oh my gosh. She says, she said, F you in your funeral. She was like going off on the karmic. She was like, I'm not coming to your funeral. I'm going to come and be like, F you in your funeral. And so I thought that was hilarious. I was like, I gotta put that down. So I don't know, maybe there could be a funeral. Or maybe these people are like just dead to you. Like the past is dead to you. Like you're forgiving people, but you're still saying F you in your funeral. Like I forgive you, but I'm not coming to your funeral. Anyway, that is so funny. You guys are following your heart, okay? And just don't be too picky. And don't pick your nose in public. But yeah, don't be too picky, and you know, realize that everyone has flaws, okay? So try to be a little bit more forgiving, a little softer. I was cracking up. You guys gotta look up Unique too, and I have LOL on there, and I said I love her. So that's like that's a compliment, because she's just so real and funny, and my older son's like, you listen to that lady and you get riled up, and he's like, I always know when you've been listening to Unique Tarot, because I'm like, and he's like, oh Lord. So I had to quote her because she's so cool. But anyway. This is no ordinary love. So you guys provide, and that's by Sade, right? The song Sade. This is no ordinary love. Something's going to make you smile big. And remember to smile. People say, well, I don't have money to give. I can't help people. You can just smile. Your smile is a huge gift. So collective, smile more, smile big. I think big things are coming into you. This is the swan. Swans kind of do represent twin flames. So you could be bringing in a divine partner. And they are monogamous for life. They mate for life. So maybe you're going to be getting out of this, you know, all these third-party situations and all these people. And you're actually going to find the one true person that you want to be with. That you guys actually mate for life. Okay? Yeah. And there's a picture on there. Maybe taking photographs or looking through photographs, or maybe your twin flame is looking at pictures of you, or your soulmate saying this is no ordinary love. I mean, the twin flame journey is no ordinary love. Maybe you guys, something big is about to happen in your twin flame journey. If you believe in that, if you don't believe in it, then I just feel like your connection to God, and like if yeah, and it's a pink swan. So I just think it's like your connection to God is big, and that because you're so connected to God, and he is your source of, you know, love and wholeness and purity, that is very healing to other people. It impacts others around you in a big way, and it makes them smile, and it gives them hope and faith, okay? So you guys love in an unconditional, you love the way God wants people to love when you love people. So smile big and share your unordinary love with other people, okay? So that's your message tonight. I hope you guys are doing good. I want to try to come back on here because I don't have to go to work, and I tried to make a video yesterday, but everything went wrong. My hair got messed up, the thing fell over, and I got mad. All the cards went everywhere, and I was like, God, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this if you're not going to help me. You need to help me more. And God was like, you're just too tired. Like, you just need to go to bed. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to bed, and I'm going to try tomorrow. And that's today, and I feel really invigorated. So I'm glad I followed my intuition. All right. This is super long as usual. I love you guys. Have a good night. Those are your messages. Bye.